So we have a serious problem here with our plumbing not draining correctly. I'm going to have to take a look at that. Hey everybody, I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free. Plumbing issues, things that aren't draining properly. You know, I've been a contractor for many decades, and that it also included plumbing. I do it all. I do carpentry, plumbing, electrical. But all of my plumbing experience basically has been new installation, building new houses or building an addition and putting in the new plumbing. As far as going in and troubleshooting problems in old or existing plumbing, clearing out clogs, all that kind of stuff, I have very little experience with that because I never do it and I hate it. But it needs to be done, and I know plumbing, so I'm going to have to try to figure this out. So here's the problem. Here in the bathroom, the shower doesn't drain. And right on the other side of this wall is the kitchen, and the kitchen sink doesn't drain. The toilet works fine. The the bathroom sink works fine. So something down underneath is affecting the shower and the kitchen sink. Now it's not completely clogged. It does drain slowly, but here on the shower, you see, well, first of all, the shower base is very dirty because the water doesn't drain. It sits there. It takes about 5 minutes or more, 10 minutes to drain. But you see that the shower only has this little lip here. You get in there and you take a shower, and you got about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes before the water is coming up over the top here. So you have to be very fast taking a shower so it doesn't flow out onto the floor. And then, like I said, it takes 5 or 10 minutes for that water to drain. So that, like I said, that's why the shower base there is so dirty. As soon as I can get this get this plumbing working properly, then we can clean that up. So let's go underneath the house and see what we're looking at. So I end up actually crawling in here underneath of the house much more often than I would like to, for one reason or another. Okay, so here's the situation underneath of the house. The house was originally built in 1950, so of course they used all of the black iron pipe. So this is the original pipe here, the iron. And at some point in the past, I think not long before we bought the house, there was some major work done on the septic system, and they replaced all of this with the PVC. And so they have a rubber Fernco fitting right here to go from the black iron to the PVC. Now, this one goes straight up. That's the vent that goes through the roof, and also the bathroom sink ties into that up there. This is the toilet. The bathroom sink and the toilet are draining fine from everything I can tell. So I think this is fine going down here. This goes to the shower. So the shower drain comes over here, and that then runs off to the kitchen sink. So I'm thinking that the clog is somewhere in here, which is kind of a strange place, but that's what I'm thinking or hoping. You see the shower comes over 2-inch pipe, and they've got this trap here, but there's no way to clean it. There's no way to take it apart. It's all glued in place. So at first I thought that's what the problem was, and then I realized that the sink is also not draining, and that's this right here comes in after that trap. So it's got to be somewhere down here is all I can figure. And the way this is built, there isn't any way to run a snake down through there. I could try from the shower, but yeah, it doesn't get past this trap. So I'm going to have to actually cut the pipe apart, unfortunately, and rebuild it. I'm going to cut it here and try to run a snake down through there and hopefully clear it all out. And then I can rebuild all of this. And I'll do it in such a way that I actually have access to clean it out in the future. So this trap is all solid. It's all glued in place. It's really dumb. I don't know why they do that. So I bought another one. It's the same kind of thing, but it's got this clean out on the bottom. As far as I'm concerned, they should all be that way. I just don't understand that. Also, when I rebuild this, I'm going to move the trap from there, and I'm going to put it over here where it comes directly down from the shower right into the trap, and then it go over that way. Just makes more sense to me. So now I got to start cutting into the pipe. I hope I'm not opening a can of worms. Okay, so that's a drain. It's supposed to be empty, and it's not. So there's definitely a problem in here somewhere. Boy, that smells. Yeah, I'm feeling something right in there. I don't know. There was a little bit of something right here where the rubber meets, but that, unfortunately, that feels very very clear all the way through. That's not good news, because that might mean that there's something further down here. And I can't get that snake to make that turn to go down. Oh boy, I got a real mess here. See, that smells like sewer water. And if it was just from the shower, it would just be gray water. It shouldn't smell like that. Well, all I can do is put this together, back together again, and see if it drains from the little bit of clearing out that I've done. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to have to attack a bigger problem over there somewhere. This is not good news. Okay, so it's now been about 2 weeks since the last time I filmed. And in the meantime, let me tell you what happened. When I snaked out this pipe, I told you that I felt a little bit of resistance right about here, but it blew right through there. And to me, the resistance that I felt on the snake wasn't enough to indicate that there was a big clog here. It was just a tiny little bit of resistance, and then it blew right on through. So I thought that wasn't it. I thought there was a clog down further. And to be honest, I got so frustrated and discouraged by that, because doing this is one thing, this little bit here is one thing, but going into here, that would have been a much more of a major job. And ever since I tore the meniscus in my knee a few years ago, I have a very hard time kneeling. I can't bend my knee all the way. So working underneath it here, it's very, very painful. And so to do a job this big, I just wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't know what I was going to do. So another thing, when I'm running the camera, it takes a lot of emotional, creative energy to run the camera, to figure out where the best placement for the camera is and all those kinds of things. And so when I thought that this wasn't going to fix the problem, I got so discouraged that I didn't have the emotional energy to continue even working the camera. So I just shut it off and I put this back together expecting that it wasn't going to work. And it's not so much that I didn't want to put up a video where I failed. I've certainly shown failures before. It was just that I didn't have the emotional energy necessary to continue filming because I was so discouraged about this job. So I put it all back together, and I'll show you in a minute what I did. And at this point, I was just filthy, covered with sewer water that had come out of here onto me. So I went up and I figured, well, I'll be taking a very fast shower to get cleaned off. And guess what? It worked. I couldn't believe it. It worked. I was so thrilled. So apparently this little thing up here, whatever it was in there, that was the clog. And you know, this is a rubber coupling with a metal jacket around it, and that's what they use to connect the plastic to the iron. And where those two pipes come together, it's not necessarily completely smooth. There's a little bit of a gap in between those two. That's a good place for junk to collect. And once it starts to collect, it's going to build up more. So over the years, all of a sudden I had a clog there. It was a small one, but it was enough that it was clogging it. So I'm absolutely thrilled that it's working. So let me show you now what I actually did when I put it back together. So this is where the pipe comes over, and it used to be, the trap was right here. And then it went into an elbow that turned this way and then went up. So I put this together straight, and I took this trap and I moved it over to here. So now it comes directly down from the shower right into the trap. And then you see that I have this one that has this clean out on the bottom. So I can undo that and clean that out if I need to. Also right here, instead of putting in an elbow to go over there, I'll put a T. I put a T in a clean out, and I'll show you from the other side so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's where the pipe comes up from the main stack, and then right here I put in a T that goes down to the drain down there. But on that T you can see I put a 45 degree and then a clean out here, threaded clean out. So in the future, if there's ever a problem down here, I can just unscrew that and run the snake down through it. That's the way I always do it when I build new stuff. I always put a clean out at the end of a long line. For instance, this pipe right here, I would put a clean out down there at the end so I can clean it easily if there's ever a problem. So now back here in the bathroom, you can see that the shower is nice and clean. Since it was no longer backing up, I was able to clean it. And it's draining properly. And that makes me happy. This has been a major issue over the past couple months. It's that drain has slowly been getting slower and slower. Can't get the words out. It's all done. It's off my plate, and the stress from that is gone. So I'm very happy that it worked out. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Live simple, live free. You be blessed. We'll see you next time.